The phone buzzed on the nightstand, its blue glow slicing through the dark like a blade. I froze mid-reach. The air thickened, heavy enough to make the walls hold their breath. Elliot, work. At 2:17 a.m. Why was my wife's business partner texting her now? Claire's silhouette lay soft beneath the sheets beside me, her breathing steady. Steady, but not deep enough to be sleep. The notification disappeared. But the weight of it didn't. It lingered, pressing down like the ring on my finger. I lay back slowly. The mattress creaked. The faint smell of lavender lotion hung in the air, a scent that once calmed me. Now cloying, like perfume masking something sour. It's just work, I told myself. Claire and Elliot were knee-deep in a billion-dollar merger. The kind of deal that could make their firm untouchable. Late-night messages weren't unusual in their world of high-stakes law and ambition. But that timing? 2:17 a.m. It gnawed at me, a splinter I couldn't pull free. I shut my eyes, pretending to sleep. But my mind replayed the last few weeks. Her late nights, her distracted glances. Her laughter, too bright, too practiced. Morning came too soon. Sunlight spilled across the marble counters, too harsh, too honest. Claire stood by the coffee maker, silk robe slipping off one shoulder, auburn hair catching the light like fire. "You're up early," she said, her tone light but sharp, testing the air. I poured cereal into a bowl, the clink of the spoon louder than it should have been. "Couldn't sleep," I muttered, eyes flicking to her phone lying face down on the counter. Silent. But screaming. "Everything okay?" she asked, meeting my gaze for half a heartbeat before looking away. She busied herself with coffee. The machine hissed, echoing the tension between us. I wanted to ask about the text. But the words jammed in my throat, heavy with fear of what they might uncover. So instead, I lied. "Just work. It's been brutal lately." Safer than the truth. The day dragged, slow, heavy, endless. At my desk, numbers blurred on the screen. All I could see was Elliot. The way his hand lingered on her arm at the last gala. The secret smiles they shared during meetings. Ones I'd once called professional camaraderie. Now, they felt like clues I'd been too blind to see. That evening, she was late again. The clock ticked past 8. The TV flickered, forgotten. I scrolled through her social media, something I hadn't done in years. Photos of her and Elliot, all business, until one stopped me cold. Claire laughing, head tilted toward him. His eyes fixed on her like she was the only person in the room. The timestamp read a night she'd claimed she was working late. My chest tightened. When she finally walked in, heels clicking on the hardwood, she looked radiant, flushed, alive. "Sorry," she said, setting her bag down. "Elliot needed me to review some contracts." Her voice was smooth, too smooth. Her eyes didn't meet mine. "At this hour?" I asked, tone sharper than I meant. She froze, only for a second. Then shrugged. "You know how it is. The deal's on a knife's edge." I wanted to believe her. God, I did. But the lie sat there, in her voice, in her careful movements. In the way she poured wine too slowly, avoiding my eyes. "What's going on with you and Elliot?" The question slipped out, raw and unfiltered. Her glass stopped midair. "What?" she said, forcing a laugh. "He's my partner, Dan. We work together. That's it." But it wasn't. The truth surfaced piece by piece. A receipt for a hotel bar she never mentioned. A whisper of a phone call cut short when I walked in. The way she flinched when I touched her. As if my hands carried accusation. Anger simmered beneath my ribs, tangled with heartbreak so sharp it stole my breath. I loved her. God, I loved her. The way she hummed off-key in the shower. The way she dreamed big enough for both of us. But love couldn't silence the questions screaming in my head. I started digging. It felt wrong. Like betraying her before she'd betrayed me. But I couldn't stop. I opened her work email through a shared laptop. Hands shaking as I typed her password, our wedding date. And there it was. A thread marked deal updates. At first, it was all business. Then, it wasn't. Meet me tonight. Same place. Miss you already? Each line cut deeper than the last. Their words, familiar, intimate. Ones that used to belong to us. The final blow came at the charity gala. The city skyline glittered through glass walls. Claire stood across the room, radiant in black. Elliot leaning in to whisper something that made her laugh. I watched in silence. Champagne cold against my palm. My heart burning itself out. I could have confronted her right there. Let the truth explode in public. But I didn't. I had something better. Elliot's billion-dollar deal hinged on one investor. A man I knew. Over a quiet drink the next day, I shared what I'd found. Not the affair, just enough to plant doubt. A leaked email here. A whisper about mismanaged funds there. It was enough. The investor pulled out. The deal collapsed like a house of cards. Elliot's empire crumbled. And Claire's dreams went with it. That night, she came home pale, shaking. It's over, she whispered. The deal's dead. I know, I said quietly. Her eyes widened. She didn't deny it. She didn't have to. The truth lived in the silence between us. In the ruins of what we'd built. I walked out. The door clicked behind me. Final, like a gavel falling. I didn't look back. But her betrayal followed me anyway.